Big old cup of coffee to clear my head. And you wanna chat? I don't know the whole song. Wait a minute. Oh my God. Oh, don't do it. Oh my God. Wait, I gotta hold it. I got to hold it. Welcome to all of you that have joined the stream. For those of you that have not, those of you that are watching this when it's not a stream, welcome, welcome. I am Venom 2 million. I am Venom 2 million. I am your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man hater. Woo. I turned off HDR so the stream looks better, and I must say this game significantly does not look as good as it did when I had my HDR on. So y'all should be extremely thankful and grateful that I care about you. Because listen, right now the game don't look like it did. Yesterday the game looked beautiful. The game looked amazing. But when I turn my HDR off so the stream don't look weird, now I look a little bit not as good. But that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. My early impressions, my opinion on this Spider-Man PS4 game so far. Oh my gosh. Let me just start off by saying in HDR, oh my God, this game is beautiful. This game is beautiful regardless. Wait a minute, hold on. This game right here is beautiful. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Where the people at? Where the cleaners at? Where the cleaners? Can I get to the cleaners? Can I get to the cleaners though? Oh, I can't get to the cleaners. I can't. Oh, can't get to the cleaners. All right. This game, my guy, is beautiful. Look at these graphics. Look at this. Look at this fluid gameplay. Spider-Man. Look at his suit. Look at his suit. And in HDR, if you don't have a 4K HDR television, that means that your experience looks like this now. I must say, this now looks great already. But when you got that 4K HDR going, it looks even better. It looked like butter. It looked like beautiful butter. I'm talking about greatness.
All units, armed robbery reported.
Graphics are great. The gameplay, let me start off with the fighting. Hold on, y'all. The fighting on this game, dog, it looks so good. It looks so good. It looks so good. This game visually is just remarkable. It is beautiful. It is so great in terms of how it looks. You be like, dang, look at it. Look at how it looks. Look at how Spider-Man fight, dog. Like, look at him. He be bouncing and kicking all the time and just bouncing. He just be bouncing. Like, the gameplay is remarkable. Ah, you just hit me. The gameplay looks remarkable. It looks fluid. It looks beautiful. And like, I like the aspect of, I like the aspect of how he's able to like, so effortlessly, like just, hold on, wait. He's just effortlessly able to, oh my God, you just hit me. Effortlessly able to just flow from one person to another. It just looks beautiful. Look at it. The animation seamlessly, like just go. They just go. And then he get hit sometimes like that. Oh, and I'm pressing circle. He not listening to me, but that's okay. But yeah, he just, oh my God, they gonna try to kill me. They gonna really try to kill me on the stream. They killed me on the stream. Wow. But anyway, the gameplay is beautiful. It looks great. Everything looks so good. Now, that's the looks. That's the look of it. But what about how I feel, Venom? How do you think it feels? Well, what I'll say is that when I first got on this game, I definitely had to learn how to play. I definitely had to learn. When I start with the web swinging, right? I had to learn how to web swing, okay? Because to me, I wasn't expecting the web swinging to be like this. What do I mean by that? I'll explain. I wasn't expecting the web swinging to be so controlled. I was expecting it to be more free, you know, because it looked controlled and, you know, but after like hearing people's impressions of them playing the game, you know, I figured, well, then the game, like in terms of the web swing, it must look like that, but you have some control. So I was, I guess, expecting the web swing of like the previous Spider-Man games, like Spider-Man 2, Ultimate Spider-Man, Web of Shadows, Spider-Man 3. You know, I was expecting that freeform ability of web swing, and that really came because of people's impressions on the game after they played it. They were saying like the web swing feels great, it feels like whatever. So, you know, I'm like, bet, you know, it looks controlled, but it must not be that controlled. When I get the game yesterday and I play it, I'm like, oh, this is not what I was thinking. This is more like controlled, like they control you. I'll give you an example. When I jump off of this building right here, and I'm diving, and I'm diving, and I'm diving, and I'm diving. No matter when I press R2, no matter if it's late or early, Spider-Man will not touch the ground. He will not touch the ground, meaning it is controlled. They control it in that way. I cannot mess up a web swing. So with that being said, you know, I was expecting like the ability to like, because, and again, it looks like it's controlled. It looks like he's swinging on a path, but I was expecting the ability to be able to like control Spider-Man, meaning control the swing. You know, I was expecting that there, but that wasn't there. It was more so like Insomniac. They put you on the web swing path. It's like, okay, you're web swinging now. You cannot touch the ground. You cannot mess up a web swing. And I just wasn't expecting that. I had to get used to it. With that being said, you know, the web swing it's great, it's fun, it's fluid, but it ain't like I don't have control. I don't have control. I look at that, like I can't mess it up. Spider-Man's gonna web swing. Spider-Man's gonna web swing. The frames, like it's like it makes Spider-Man float. So the web swing will happen. Instead of him like messing up and then it landing on the ground, hitting the ground, you know, and running like he did in previous games, running, you know, you're swinging because you can't mess up the swing, which is something that I just wasn't really anticipating, and it was a learning curve with that. Is that something that I wanted? No, like I wanted to be able to have control over it. They took that ability away from me. So that's something else that I noticed. The fighting looks great. It feels so, Spider-Man feels really weak when he's fighting. Like, maybe I can get into a fight and like I can better get you to understand what I'm saying. Like Spider-Man feels weak. He's like kicking and punching and hitting people up in the air and like hitting them for a long time. Like it takes a really long time for bad guys to get knocked out, which is weird.
I'm gonna guess these guys
like,
aren't trading baseball cards.
Like look, so like this, right? Like in order for me to hit somebody like that, it's like there's a lot of strength that Spider-Man should be putting into his hits, but it doesn't really feel like it. It feels like all these people have powers or something, because they can take a lot of damage. And it's weird. Like when I hit that dude with that, like, yo, and I get that was a bigger guy, but like he should go down. Like that should be it. Spider-Man is a superhero. Spider-Man got super strength. There's no reason why I'm sitting here like struggling. Not even struggling, because it's not even a struggle. It's just, it's just the okay. It's just the fact that I feel like it takes too many hits for Spider-Man to knock people out. That doesn't necessarily mean that the game is too hard. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that the hits, they look...
Drugs are maybe my most disliked criminal activity.
Strong.
Definitely
they look
5.
like, you know, they can
5.
really do damage, but they don't feel like they're doing damage. Like Spider-Man is like putting a lot of effort into these hits and these kicks and things like that. And it's a lot of kicks, by the way, a lot of kicks. He's putting a lot of effort into these kicks, these flashy kicks, and like he's like jumping all over the place, but they feel like light attacks. And I get Spider-Man pulls his punches and stuff like that, but they feel like really light attacks. Like I'm hitting somebody in the air and like pummeling them, and they're able to get right back up after it. And I'm like, yo, I'm Spider-Man though. And I'm like, you're throwing things at people, throwing a freaking metal trash can or metal mailbox, and they're just eating it. Like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel, Spider-Man feels weaker than he should be, you know? That's kind of weird to me. Something else, I was going to upload a video last night. It's uploaded, but it's private. I don't think I'm going to make it public because the way the video was framed, like I already know, like a lot of people were, Venom is a Spider-Man hater. Like one person in my last video, I don't feel like watching the live stream. So can someone just tell me if he's still shitting all over the game? So I was like, well, wait a minute, who are you? Like, first of all, like who are you where you feel like you deserve someone to tell you my opinion on the game without you listening to what I have to say? Like, who are you? What is your, why do, if you don't want to listen to what I have to say, then why do you care? Why do you care? So out of the way the video was framed, I really didn't feel like having to make an additional video in which I have to go more into detail and show what I'm talking about. So I think I'm just going to keep that private and just continue to talk about it. All of those things I talk about in this video, or in that video, in this live stream, and in this video. So something else, and I talked about this in, I've talked about this for a while. This game, oh wait, oh dang it, I was trying to do something to that guy. This game, how you doing, man? Oh wow, that was really cool. Spider-Man, this game, to me, it visually is beautiful.
I know, I'm a jerk.
But there are aspects of the game that do not compare to other PlayStation exclusives. I'll give you an example. So like, before the game came out, people were like, Venom, what do you think the game's going to get in Metacritic, and what are the review scores going to be? And I was like, you know, I think the game will get an 85 plus. 85 to 88 maybe, you know. I don't think the game's going to get a 95. I don't think the game's going to get a 98. I don't think the game's going to be Game of the Year. Why? Because when you look at games that are of that quality, the majority of those games being PlayStation exclusives, there's a certain level of detail that comes. Whoa, he just punched the mess out of me. There's a certain level of detail that comes with those games. I'll give another example, or I'll give an example. Look at God of War or Uncharted, right? Uncharted, there's this level of detail within the game. I was playing yesterday a story mission. And the story mission ends with like Spider-Man, Peter Parker rather. Peter Parker is on the phone. And he's on the phone and he's like, he has the phone up to his ear. And he's not making a facial expression. His mouth is just moving. And he's on the phone, you know, and Yuri Lowenthal did an excellent job in terms of his voice acting. He did an excellent job, right? So like the voice acting and emotion is all there, but there is no emotion on Peter Parker's face. Peter Parker's not even moving, aside from when I make him move, aside from when I walk. Peter Parker isn't gesturing. Peter Parker he's like statically there on the phone talking to somebody, right? And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on now, take it back, wait a tick. If this was Uncharted, Nathan Drake would have been like straight up gesturing, making hand gestures. He would have been moving. He would have, if I walked toward a wall, he would have leaned on the wall. You know, it would have been a lot of character. We would have got a lot of personality and character out of it, which in turn, you know, makes the game feel different. It gives it a better feel. It gives it a more realistic feel. It really perpetuates and presses or pushes. That was a lot of P's at alliteration right there. It really illustrates the immersion that I as the gamer have, you know. It makes me feel like Peter Parker, or in terms of Uncharted, Nathan Drake is a real person and he's actually experiencing whatever it is that he's experiencing. Peter Parker, on the other hand, was just statically on the phone. Within the feast shelter, right? I'm walking through the shelter. Some people go, Peter, how you doing? Peter says nothing. Peter doesn't even look at them. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And then there are other points where Peter does. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, nah, wait, this is a PlayStation exclusive. So I expect this level of quality to be there, the level of detail to be there, right? The level that are in other PlayStation exclusives. The level of detail, you know, that I just come to expect when it comes to a PlayStation exclusive. And why isn't that here? I want that for my favorite superhero. And I want that. I want to have that experience, that that level of detail. I just want that from my favorite superhero. You know, if I can get that in Uncharted, if I can get that in God of War, if I can get that in Last of Us, why can't I get that with my favorite superhero? You know, that's what I wanted. And that's not here. And people, you know, have been excusing it. Oh, you know, Insomniac can do no wrong. I love Insomniac. You know, sucking Insomniac off. No, I'm not going to suck Insomniac off, because I wanted that unequivocal, amazing experience that are within these other PlayStation exclusives. I want that with my favorite superhero, dog. And you telling me that because I didn't get that, and because I point out that I don't get that I'm the bad guy? You're the one excusing the fact that PlayStation exclusives are at this high amount of quality and that this game doesn't have it, and you're excusing that. Another example of detail, right? I'm very much appreciative of this beautiful looking world. I'm very much appreciative of these buildings, the scenery. I'm very much appreciative, right? But when I go to this building right here, I see, you know, Insomniac has given the impression of there being a three-dimensional spaces inside of the buildings, and I'm grateful for that. I think that's really cool, right? I think that's really cool. However, when I go to one angle of the building, one angle of the window, and there is a certain interior, and then I go to the next, and that interior is entirely different. Wait a minute, hold on, where's that? Wait a minute, what's going on here? Did I just enter another dimension? Is Doctor Strange working here? What's going on? That is immersion breaking, you know. I'm very much appreciative and grateful for the idea that, you know, they've put forth. These are the three-dimensional spaces. These buildings have interiors. Thank you so much. But like in terms of this, and it's not a big deal. It's just that attention to detail, because it just that these little things are throughout the game. They're throughout the game. These little things, you know. That's why IGN gave the game an 8.7. That's why the game on Metacritic is where it is, because these little bits of detail are missing. There is no reflection, and I understand, though there's a little reflection right there, but I understand, you know, hardware limitations. I understand all that. Yes. But the little things of detail are what makes the difference between a Uncharted 4 and a Tomb Raider, you know. That's what makes the difference between a Last of Us and I don't know, Remember Me or whatever other game. That's what makes the difference. That's why God of War is what it is. That's why God of War is at the level that because it's those things of detail. Okay, is that not attached to the building? Okay, it's not. But, you know, those little things of detail, that's what makes these PlayStation exclusives PlayStation exclusives. And I wanted that approach. I wanted that love and care and detail from my favorite superhero. I'm passionate about this, dog. I care so much about Spider-Man and about, you know, this story. I care so much about this character. And when I hear PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man, you know, I just want to have that experience. I want to have that wonderful experience that is a PlayStation exclusive with Spider-Man. And, you know, the game is great. The game is wonderful. But there are little details that keep it from being spectacular, that keep it from being amazing so far. These are just my first impressions. I haven't beat the game. I'm at the beginning of the story, you know? I'm at the beginning of the story. But so far, these are these little things that are just taking me. Like, this is ice. And, it's not, it should be a different feel. Spider-Man should honestly slide. And other games, you know, they do that. They do that. There are those details. Here's another detail. There was all this hubbubaloo, right? Hubbubaloo. Is the game going to have charge jump? Is the game going to have charge jump? No, the game's not going to have charge jump. Oh, the game will have charge jump. We don't know. We don't know if the game's going to have charge jump. Will it have charge jump? Will it not? Then Brian Intihar comes out and says it is going to have charge jump, right? Oh, great. It's going to have charge jump. When you look at the previous Spider-Man games with charge jump, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, when you charge jump, you see Spider-Man kneel down, bend his knees, even begin shaking because you see him about to put forth all this effort to spring up high, right? In this game, to go to charge jump, look at this, hold on. He goes in the static pose. The controller vibrates. This pose, by the way, is something that has been used throughout the game. The controller vibrates, and then he jumps. Now, to me, it looks like the charge jump was a late inclusion, especially when it goes throughout throughout this entire conversation, this entire 2 years that we've been waiting for the game. Is charge jump going to be in the game? Is it not going to be in the game? Is it going to be in the game? And then finally, yes, it's in the game. Like, it's charge jump. Is it in the game or no? Why is it all this hubbubaloo? Why do we have to wait to get an answer for whether or not charge jump is in the game? And it's because I think it was a late inclusion. I think it was a late inclusion. And it feels good to a degree, but it looks weird. There is no, it's like a static pose that he goes into. It's like, you know, that it was a late inclusion, you know. That's how I feel. And then the charge jump while moving, it doesn't feel the same. I'll give an example. I'll just show you. I'll show you. Maybe you'll understand what I'm saying if you see it. It doesn't look or feel the same when I'm moving. So here's the charge jump. And like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, I feel like the charge jump, when I jump from a static, like, that's high. But then when, like, I'm running, it just doesn't feel the same to me. It just doesn't feel the same. Like, charge jump in the previous games, it was, you know. The story so far, you know, I'm at the beginning. Nothing new. Everything that we saw in the trailers and stuff, I'm pretty much experiencing that. So, like, I don't really know what's going on yet in terms of the story, and I'm really looking forward to continuing the story. But in terms of the gameplay, it's just Insomniac really played it safe so far. It's really safe. They've implemented everything that I pretty much have said before. Like, I'm pretty much there. You know, I'm not disappointed in the game at all because everything that I said, unfortunately, so far, that's my reality. And it sucks, like, because a part of me wanted me to be wrong. Like, actually, all of me wanted me to be wrong. I care about Spider-Man so much. That's why I make these videos. That's why, you know, I talk about what I talk about. Because I care about it. Because I really do care. And I wanted, like, the PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man game. That's what I wanted. But unfortunately, you know, this game is like, it's like a dessert. Like a really beautiful dessert with empty calories. You know, there's details missing that make this game not be equivalent to a PlayStation Sony exclusive. You know, the quality of a PlayStation Sony exclusive. Like, this game came out on the PS4 at the end of the PS4's life. And I don't understand, outside of Sony, you know, like having the cinematic rights to the character of Spider-Man, I don't understand why this game is an exclusive, a Sony exclusive, because it does not compare to these AAA Naughty Dog Santa Monica Studio games. It doesn't compare, and that pisses me off. It doesn't compare. This is not a God of War. This is not an Uncharted. This is not a Last of Us. This is not that. This isn't. It's a beautiful looking game that misses details that, quite frankly, you know, they played it safe. But the sequel, you know, I'm really hoping for the sequel. Again, this is not a review. This is just impression. These are my first early impressions. I'm at the beginning of the game. Everything could change, you know. I could continue to upgrade Spider-Man, and then things, you know, progress and get better and better and better. And the game is not bad at all. Like, you know, I spent 5-10 minutes earlier talking about how great it looks, you know. But there are just aspects that keep this game from going to where it should be, you know. There are aspects that where Insomniac they played it so safe. They played it so safe, scarily safe. Oh, you're leaving the playable area. Wow. They just play it so safe, and I'm like, why? And I get it, you know. Spider-Man has a lot of baggage. Spider-Man has a lot of games. He has a lot of fans, people that make videos, people that will talk about the game regardless of if it's good or bad. People care, and I get it. And Insomniac, you know, their studio, this is the biggest thing that their studio has done. This is the thing that their studio is going to be remembered for. All right, period, dot. People are not going to think Ratchet and Clank when it comes to Insomniac anymore. People are not going to think Sunset Overdrive when it comes to Insomniac. People are going to think Spider-Man PS4. And I think Insomniac understands that. And they know that with that power comes a great responsibility. See what I did there? And they also know that if they mess up, oh, it's bad. Oh, it's real bad if they mess up. So what do? They decide, well, let's just, you know, let's just look at what worked in the previous games, put that in this game. You know, put that all in this game, which isn't a bad thing. Which is not a bad thing. But it does hamper the quality of the game. It brings it back. It lessens it. Because Sony exclusives take risks. Sony exclusives innovate. Sony exclusives have details that other games don't. That's why the Xbox games don't compare. Because Sony exclusives just have that thing, you know, that touch, that magic. They're equivalent to Rockstar's games. Those little details, those special, minute details that you won't find in other games. In this game, there are aspects of it where, you know, we have it. But there are a lot of aspects where we don't. And that shows. That's why the game is not a 10. That's why so far. But that's why I understand why IGN did not give the game a 10. I understand why they didn't even give it a 9. I understand why the Metacritic score is what it is. It's because Insomniac played it extremely safe. They have some missions that are repetitive. The fact that you have to clear the map in a Spider-Man game, that was the most annoying thing ever. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta do towers? This is 2018. I gotta do towers? And it's a Spider-Man game? Wait a minute, what? You know, like, those things don't work. It just paddens out the game, you know? Like, no.
Oh, come on, fellas. You can't
but oh well.
income tax like this.
Oh well. Those are my my impression so far. I think the game looks visually beautiful. I think the game looks so beautiful. But there are just details in which other PlayStation exclusives have, and this one does not. And it, unfortunately, it's just it holds the game back so far. I'm hopeful for the story though. I think. Oh my God! Oh! I think the story though is interesting. Is it so far what I was expecting? No, actually, it's not. It's not like my story. It's more. Oh. Hold on, wait. I'm trying to talk and play, and that's messing me up. Okay, I died. The story so far is not what I was anticipating, in a good way. It's not like my story at all. Well, so far at least, it's not like my story. There's it's not cookie cutter. Like I'm still in the beginning. It's not cookie cutter. There are just some things that I guess I just really wasn't anticipating them to do, because it seems so on the nose. Like the whole Mary Jane Peter Parker conflict. Like Mary Jane and Peter broke up because Peter's Spider-Man, you know, and like he didn't have time for her, and she wanted to do what she wanted to do. So they broke up, and they haven't spoken in 6 months. Yet, like before she runs into Peter, like this isn't a spoiler per se, but like she's looking at items that belong to Wilson Fisk, and like they're just all reminding her of Peter and Aunt May and things like that. And I get it, sure, Spider-Man took down Wilson Fisk, so sure, maybe that brings you back. But if you haven't talked to the man in 6 months, like, your thoughts can't be all Peter, you know. And then it becomes like it's like, why haven't you talked to him in 6 months then? What's the conflict? What's the conflict? Sure, I get it. You know, you loving someone, you know, all that. But like, what is truly the conflict? What is the why? Why haven't you spoken in 6 months then? Why haven't you been friends? Because you love each other so much? Then work through it. What's the point of? I get, maybe, you know, they're young, so I get that. I guess, I don't know. I just wouldn't have took it that route. But again, I'm still early in the game. I don't know where the story's going to go in terms of that. Well, I have an idea where the story's going to go. I hope it doesn't go the way that I'm thinking it does. But that's where I am. That's where I am. And I look forward to just continuing the story. Later on today, I plan on doing some more streams, playing the story. I'm at the Shocker bank heist now. So when I come back later on, I have to go do something with my job outside of YouTube, you know, because I do a lot, actually, in case you guys didn't know. I do a lot. That's why YouTube sometimes, a lot of the time, goes on the backside. You know, I'm a performer, as you say. So, yeah, so I'm about to get on out of here, y'all. Before I go, actually, I'm going to check out the chat. I've been kind of not ignoring the chat. I just haven't looked at it at all. So I guess, yeah, I've been ignoring the chat. Let me pull it up on my phone. Let's land on this building right here. Pull up the chat on my phone. Anybody have any questions, any comments? Let me pull it up first. Venom 2 million, that's my name. Now here we go. All right. Okay. Let's see. Bullshit. You didn't read the book Hostile Takeover, where it explains the reason why they broke up. Oh, so then inform me if that's not why they broke up, since I have to read an additional book outside of the game to understand something. Again, I'm still early in the game though, so like, you know, I'm just talking about my first impressions so far. Hold on, let's look. Kratos has very limited movement to Spider-Man. It's unfair to compare detail in God of War or Uncharted 4 to this game. They're completely different. Why is it unfair, though? Why is it unfair? Why is it? God of War is an open world game. Horizon was an open world game. I haven't played Horizon yet. I got it. Horizon is an open world game. God of War is an open world game. Uncharted 4, it's not open world. It's not. But it has open world segments. You know, like, why is it unfair? Rockstar, they have massive amounts of detail in their games, and their games are probably some of the best open world games, period, dot. So I'm not understanding that argument. You can complain over MJ being an unnecessary acquisition, but complaining over Ice is too picky. I wasn't even complaining over the Ice. That was just an example. Chill. Defend. I'm not even complaining over the Ice. That was just an example, y'all. I don't care about no Ice. Ice is barely in the game. Chill. Let's scroll it up. Walking on ice. Oh, it doesn't have as much detail. Boy, if you hate the game, just say it. You want me to hate the game. You would love it if I... The thing is, if I actually hated the game, I wouldn't talk about it. Why would I spend time talking about something I hate? I don't... Come on now. Dog, my name is Venom 2 million. Chill on me, fam. I know about this Spider-Man stuff. I live this Spider-Man stuff, okay? I make videos about the Spider-Man stuff. I spend hours on the Spider-Man stuff. I do hours of research on the Spider-Man stuff. Chill on me. You don't know. You don't. The game doesn't do anything worse than the previous entry of Spider-Man games. Like, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and you are stating facts. I 100% agree with the throwing items comment. Yeah, I don't think the game does anything worse than any other Spider-Man game. I think the game completely incorporates everything that worked in all previous entries. Play Cyberpunk 2077 and stop complaining. That game is not out yet, and I will complain whatever, regardless. If I praise the game, though, if you would, y'all, oh my God, y'all, look at these trees. They got trees, and they just look so good. Yes, Venom, yes, the trees look so good. Oh my God, yes, y'all. When I jump in front of a crowd of people, like they fall down, and oh my, yes, Venom, yes, you look, yes, they just fall down, and it's just so beautiful. Like, yo, shut up, dog. And I'm not talking about the game being perfect. I'm just talking about things that would help this game be better. I'm not like, you know. Let's scroll it up. He is nitpicking, but he's still giving actual criticism. Like, whatever, man.
Spider Crisis coming through.
Venom really complained about anything. Spider-Man feel weak. Shake my head. You want the game to be easy, running through every enemy. No, it's not necessarily the game. Like, Batman, I can't even articulate it because it's how it feels. Batman feels strong. Like, Batman, you feel that punch. You feel it. You punch somebody, you feel it. When he kicks somebody, like, you don't feel that. You don't feel it. And like, you throw a trash can or something at somebody, you don't feel that. Like, sometimes they don't fall down. He says, yo, Venom 2 million, I'm gonna enjoy the game and you're not gonna make me feel bad or change my mind. I'm not trying to make you feel. What are y'all talking about? Dog. See, that don't even make sense. Why would I make you feel bad? What are you talking about, dog? First of all, did you make the game? Second of all, did you buy the game? Third of all, why would my talking about my opinion of the game make you feel bad? Oh, so I can't go there. All right. That don't make sense, y'all. Again, not making sense. That sounds kind of fanboyish. Scroll it down. The game is better than Infamous Second Son. I feel like those games you mentioned are video game IPs without pre-existing source material compared to 70 plus years of history. What does What does, first of all, I didn't mention this in the second time I played it. Second, what does the history of this character or IP have to do with the quality of the current game? I'll let you think about that, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'll give you an example. The Grand Theft Auto games before 3 were top-down, like open world games. Based upon that history of that IP, Grand Theft Auto 3 would be a top-down open world game. Yet it was a three-dimensional open world game. It was a third-person, three-dimensional open world game. So what does the IP, and then you want to talk about 70 plus years of history, what does that have to, how is that in any way relevant? What are you talking about? It's not relevant. Irrelevant. I feel deep down you don't want to like this game because you feel Spider-Man deserves better. Venom 2 Man, you were right, he does. Spider-Man is my favorite, like, superhero.
Was senior Gramercy.
I want him to have the best. I want him to have a Uncharted equivalent, a Rockstar, a Naughty Dog equivalent game. So yes, I think he deserves the 100% best, and I'm not gonna settle. That's like my child. I mean, like my child. If everybody else got the best computer, they're given the best computer, and you know my kid is given a computer. I want him to be given the best computer too. Everybody else is given the ability to go to the best school, period. I want my child to be able to go to the best school, period. It's like that. If all these other characters can get these games that are of these of amazing quality, of Game of the Year status, I want my favorite character to have that quality. You know, I'm not gonna settle. People settle. They just, oh yeah, it's just great. You know, like. No, I'm not sucking off Insomniac. I'm not sucking off anybody. Absolutely not. The game is beautiful. The game looks great, but there are aspects that, wow, I've never done this wed zip wall or wed zip moment. But there are aspects of the game that would be a lot better if, you know, that attention to detail was there. God of War was trash compared to the older games. The boss battle alone in the older games crap all over this new one. Yeah, I've never played the older God of War games, but so I can't speak on the older God of War games. However, God of War was amazing. That game was amazing. Like, that is probably, if like Red Dead Redemption 2 ain't the bee's knees, God of War hands down Game of the Year. Hands down. Hands down. Period. Dot. Like, period. Dot. Let's see. Deserves better. Spider-Man is the best rated game in PS4 to date. F out of here with this hating shit. I mean, the best rated, that's 100% not true. But that's not a fact. Like, that's actually, like, you just gave me a false fact. All right. I feel like whatever. Why does it matter if someone has criticism of the game? I think The Last of Us is overhyped to hell and doesn't deserve the praise. But if someone likes it, good for them. It's called opinions. You know, I agree with you. You know, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. You think Last of Us is trash. I think that your opinion is 100% not right. I think Last of Us definitely is overhyped, but there's a level of quality with storytelling and animations and visual detail within that game that's just unparalleled. It's, you know, like, well, unparalleled by no one outside of Naughty Dog, no one outside of, you know, Uncharted 4, you know, in my opinion. Venom, if your kid went to UCLA over Harvard, would you be mad? No, if my kid wanted to go to UCLA over Harvard, then no, I wouldn't be mad. But if my kid was given the opportunity to go to Harvard and he wanted to go to Harvard, but instead had to go somewhere else, yeah, I'd be like, why? My kid wants to do what he wants to do. I want the best for my kid. All these Spidey fans trash on God of War, even though it's the better game. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I like Last of Us, but the second one, It is overhyped though. I'm not hyped for The Last of Us 2. Whatever. Alright, y'all. Those are my first impressions, my early impressions of the game. Oh, this reminds me of Spider-Man PS1. I mean, this is an actual building, but like, oh man. And I got all the backpacks and stuff. But yeah, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you tune in to when I do my live stream later. I'm about to get on out of here. For those of you that are just now joining me, you can check this video on demand. It'll be archived. As always, I am Venom 2 Million, telling you to hit the like button if you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Do this charge jump one last time into the sunset. Venom 2 Million saying peace. Peace, y'all. Have a good one. Peace. Now, if I can end the stream. What if I can't even end the stream? That's funny. Woo. I can't end the stream. I don't know how to end the stream. Peace.